and we're going to get into it like this.
Welcome to Bonfire BFX on the X28 ecosystem, where innovation meets community. Harness the power of smart burn technology to create a sustainable, deflationary environment. No central control, no expiration dates. Just a transparent, self-reinforcing cycle where every contribution fuels lasting impact. As we evolve, our recycle pool ensures a lasting, self-sustaining ecosystem. Burn smarter. Ignite your future with Bonfire.
My bad, I'm back. I got my coffee. I had to get my coffee. Oh, let's go. So let me get into this here. Day 21. We're on day 21. We got 23 hours and 37 minutes left in day 21. Let's go to the future and see if somebody mined. Somebody did mine. 125.63 million X28. Pretty awesome. See, the buy and burn 20,736. It is filled to $188. No multiplier as of now. We did have, I believe, two times and a 1.5 time. And that is awesome. So this is what we look like today. We have 3 miners that are vesting to reach their 100%. Our first one, only 2% away. So we are getting close. Day 23 is our fully vested day. We'll be at 100%, and we will unlock the vesting pool rewards. So as soon as we hit 100%, we'll get our share of this. And as users claim day 14, the vesting pool will increase, and my share of that pool will increase as long as I stay. So we have 2.67 million that we can claim right now. This day 14 will have a 2% forfeit. Day 18, a 6%, and day 20, a 8%. And we know these forfeits fill up the vesting pools. And I did, I did notice, remember, we were saying these vesting pools are going to get preloaded bigger and bigger as we move forward. And that's going to drive mining on certain days. And we're just getting started. So, we can only imagine what day 60 is going to look like. And for instance, right here, we're on day 28, right? That's as far as we can go into the future. This vesting pool is already 152,000 BFX. If you remember, 2 weeks ago, right, in the first week, these were like 6,000 getting preloaded, 6,000 BFX. And we were kind of excited that they were getting preloaded. And, we were kind of imagining what the future might look like because they're growing. The preloads are getting bigger. So now we're at day 28, which is 8 days away. And it's already at 152,000 BFX. So when day 28 does come, we can imagine this number is going to be even bigger. And that's without anybody even mining or being able to forfeit yet. So as miners come and as they claim to compound, or they're fully vested and they claim, this vesting pool is just going to get bigger and bigger. And yeah, like day 11, it might have been 22,000, if even that, preloaded. And we're at 1.85 million in the vesting pool. So when we go way up here and it's already at 152,000, you know, we're only going to get, they're only going to get bigger as we move forward. And as the daily distribution falls, right, we're under 44 now. So as this gets maybe to, you know, 25, and these vesting pools get preloaded to like 2.5 million, you know, that's 10% of the distribution would be in that day's vesting pool. And that would make sense to want to mine and vest to open these vesting pools and earn your bonus. So, you know, it's early and we just got to let the protocol build itself up, if that makes sense. You know, it's only been 21 days. We're just getting started. We're just, you know, filling the buy and burn. We're just now pre-filling these vesting pools. More users seem to be mining. We got compounders that are not only benefiting themselves, but benefiting the system, because when they compound, they come back in typically with a bigger bag. That's going to add more to the buy and burn. That's going to add more to the vesting pools when they claim and forfeit, right? So compounders have a place in Bonfire, and long-term holders have a place in Bonfire, and we need each other to make all this work. And it's worth it to say that compounding will become less and less. It'll make less and less sense as we move forward, right? Because the distribution's less. It's going to get harder to mine, and seem like you might not want to keep maybe compounding at such a high level. You still might want to compound, but instead of compounding maybe 4 of your 8, you might only do 1 of your 8, right? Because we want to leave these vesting and get access to these pools. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at. One thing that I would like to speak on is this here, this total BFX burned, this number. If you've been following, you'd notice it hadn't changed in like 2 days probably. And I noticed that it didn't change. So I reached out to the dev team, and this is just a UI issue. They're fixing the website right now, and this number will change. And just to let you know that the exact number, and we'll even go on, we'll go double check it so I can show you. But we've burned 171 million Bonfire. 171. So, you know, 3 times what is shown. So we're closer to 10% burned. And I'm going to show you how to find it. We're going to click on that tab, the docs page. We're going to go to contracts, and we're going to go to buy and burn. Let's see. I think that's where we wanted to go. If not, I know where I got to go. Okay, maybe that is not the right page, but we will. we'll get it. Hold on, let me get this right address. And then, bam. All right, we got you. Well, where did it go? How do I find it? I know this is the right address. Well, I might not be able to show you. I had to figure it out. Kind of trying to figure this out on the whim. Excuse me. But damn it. I trust my dev. I trust my dev. My dev says so. And that's what I'm going with. I'll figure out how to get it, and I'll show y'all in the next one. Okay, because I'm not finding it. And that's cool. I don't want to spend too much time on that. Just know that this number, according to my dev, is 171.88 million total burned. So keep that in mind, and we are updating that as we speak. He is working on that. And that's it for that. So let's go and see what do we want to do today. So we have 107 million TitanX. We can max mine, and that will give us 3,970 smart burn power, which that'll get our miner to over 12,000 again. And that's looking at adding almost 400,000. So that'll put us over $1 million again. And for $41, it's saying your potential estimate over 8 days is 880, and we know that's not realistic. That's going to come down because it's looking at the future, and nobody knows what the future is. As new miners come in, these future days will reduce for you. And that's just how mining works in general. You know, more miners hook up, the network power goes up, and if you don't add with it, then your miner gets gets less of the supply. That's just how mining works. So we got 853,000 that we could claim from yesterday. So let's do our normal. We'll come over here to titanxhub.com/swap. Kind of got it already set up for 850,000 would give me roughly 72 million TitanX. Let's just call it 73. So we would be at 180 million TitanX if we did that. We would have 2 vesting days. We would have our 2 vesting days saved up. Now let's see what would happen if we went ahead and claimed these 2. Let's say 1.8, just to be safe. 1.85. We'll just add a 1 here. Bam. That would get us 159, and that would break us. We would be above even. So for this wallet, it makes sense for me to do that. Claim these 2, be at even, then maybe add a little bit to our miner, which will bring us back below even, but we'll get our 8 days back instead of having 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. our miner today would get stronger. All of these actually would get stronger, and I would add 2 more mining days. But that would drop my bag to only 1 vesting day. But I can use some of these coming up as vesting days. And yeah, it's a tough decision. It is. And we really don't know if that's the right decision, right? You don't know if you made the right decision until the future tells you. So I think that's what we're going to do, just so that we can be even and uh, be safe, because this is every dollar I got. I can't lose it. I don't want to lose it, but I want Bonfire. I want Bonfire. That's why we're mining. And we got this guy, you know, you add 2% to this, we're almost at 850,000, and it's got a nice little vesting pool for me. So that's pretty cool. I think that's what we're going to do. Day 18, you know, we didn't hit our million, which, you know, for me to stay in, I kind of think that I would want this over a million. Otherwise, I'll just claim it and compound, or claim it and, you know, provide liquidity, something other than vesting on this day. So I think that's the best move for us today. So we're going to hit claim selected. Says it's going to cost $1.19. We know that it's going to be cheaper usually, and that I'm going to say 70 cents, probably less, maybe. Let's see what comes up. It just went through 74 cents. 74 cents to claim. And I've been doing good about changing the tabs so far, and I just messed that up. But that's all right. I claimed my 2. I claimed 19 and 20. Cost me 75 cents. And we're going to leave day 14 for the long term. We locked that in. We're sticking with this decision for the long haul, and hopefully we get 1 or 2 more in the next day or 2, right? We don't want to keep claiming and compounding. We want to be vesting. We want to be vesting, but we need to earn those vesting days. So let's go here. Let's see what we got. We got $61.30. They're going to give me $62.87 on TitanX. Let's see what X28 is. $61.92. So it's a little bit better. And we already have TitanX. So we might as well just do that. So they're going to give us 160 million TitanX, and it's going to cost us 14 cents in TitanX goes to the swap, and they're going to charge us 1.4 million TitanX in gas. So that's 54 cents for this swap. And it's not taking my Ethereum, it's taking it from my TitanX. And you see minimum received 159 million. If it can't get us at least this, it'll revert the swap and tell you no and won't do anything. So we sent that. It is starting the competition. It's going all across all liquidity sources, finding us the best deal, and you can't beat it. Best price is found. Winner is executing on chain. So that's happening. That's popping. Let's refresh just to see. Make sure we're good. Make sure we're good. Oh, see, man, I love I love Build the Tech. BuildTheTech.com. I love BuildTheTech.com. They fixed this within 30 minutes. Within 30 minutes, and that's unbelievable on a Sunday. And I was like, man, it's just visual. Don't even worry about it. Or not, don't worry about it, but don't rush, man. It's Sunday morning. Just, I just wanted to make sure it was visual, and I'll explain it, and just take your time and get to it. And homie banged it out like 30 minutes. Amazing. So we are updated. We actually are at 12.88% of Bonfire has been burned. And then we got 71 million in the recycle pool. So this together, that's, closer to 16%, maybe even a little more, that is out of circulation. So that is awesome to see. And there's not much circulation, and that's beautiful. So we got 268 million TitanX. We started with 250. So we are plus 18 million TitanX. I know that's not a lot, but it is over. We're at like 101% maybe. And we got us a bag that's going to be close to 1 million. And we got 6 days, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days of mining left that could potentially get us 3.82 million more. And the users here, this is our smallest miner, but there's 14 users. It's not like it's one user, and you know how that works. If you're the only miner 8 days in the future, it's assuming you getting 42 million tokens, right? Where that's not the case on my last miner. There's 14 users. So these numbers are closer to reality. Let's go that route. So maybe I only get 2 million off of these days. And then I got my 1 million here that's vesting. And out of these, I would leave at least 1 or 2 vesting. And then maybe we start a new miner like right here. And we let 1 of these 2 vest. Oh, 1 of these 2 vest. And then somewhere in here, we start our new miner. I think that's what we're going to do. Sounds like a plan, but everybody got a plan until you get punched in the mouth. So we just see what tomorrow brings and take it from there. So we're excuse me, we're doing really good on our wallet. $103.98 worth of TitanX. I think we started with 100, or roughly that was its value. 250 million was roughly $100 when we started. So we're doing really awesome with the wallet. Bonfire is doing really well. And our community is strong. We're doing some good things for the community, aside from transparency and just walking through Bonfire every day, explaining the process and the potential things that could happen. And I keep forgetting to share my tab. I got to work on this. Got to work on that, practicing switching the tab. So we got $104. And we got 6 days of miners running. We got 1 vesting. And I was saying we might want to try and vest one of these two. And then we'll start a new miner somewhere in this area here. And that's going to add us, we would have 1, 2, 3, 4 left, and that would add 4 more. And, this one would be big again. So that's kind of what we're looking at. That's what we plan on doing. And yeah, we have burned 171.88 million bonfire, which is just under 13%. And you got the recycle pool, you got the vesting pool, and we got the liquidity pool. And there's 1.33 billion in supply. So there's probably like less than 100 million in circulation or being circulated, right? Way less than 100 million. And the buy and burn is doing amazing. $205 on the next call. And we are over 20,500 in the buy and burn. And as X28 goes up, so does our balance. And as new miners come in, they add to our buy and burn balance. And they add to liquidity. So, yeah, definitely happy with everything. Oh, we got some comments today. Perfect timing for my dog to come clacketing. All right. Glenn Cox, day 14. He gonna be the last man standing. Not if I got something to say about it, but good luck, bro. Good luck, bro. All right, John Klein. The future's bright. I gotta wear shades. Yes, sir. Even inside, I gotta wear shades. I should be wearing shades right now, man. I'm getting sunburnt and I ain't even been outside yet. Yes, it is, John. What's the slippage rate you use? I don't even know. I don't change it, so I just use whatever's on the website. I think it's 0.5% or something. The TitanX DEX aggregator, TitanXHub.com/swap. Yeah, so I don't change any kind of slippage settings when I use that, and that's another beauty of it is, yeah, it's so easy. Don't touch nothing. Just put in how much you want to trade for. You don't even need Ethereum, bro. That's what's up. Morph, you up for some company? Yes, sir. Do you want to come to the stage? I will certainly love some company anytime. Anytime a legend wants to grace me with their presence, I am more than down. Let's see. Let me get you this link, homie. I'm gonna send it to you on Twitter, bro. On Twitter, bro. Let me open it up. And then I gotta go to messages. Bam, bam. There you are. And here is your link, sir. Boom. Yeah. I'll keep it going, man. We'll come on in. Come on in. Say what's up. What's up, Mr. Morph? Mr. Morph. Man, they got some good stuff cooking too. I'm so excited about Morpheus and Element 280. Where we at? Yeah. So we've burned 2.36 billion Morpheus tokens, and we've burned 13.15 billion E280 tokens. And E280 is they're planning on going multi-chain too, or omni-chain. Everywhere that X28 goes, E280 is gonna do something with it. So E280 is a really, really good protocol that we love. And Morpheus got some stuff cooking, and it should be ready soon. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Who's ready? The legend. Boom.
Let's freaking go.
How do I do this? There we go. Whoa.
There you go. Sorry for the background noise. I got a big ass heater running because I got run out of firewood and it's coming tomorrow. Oh, it's slowing down now. Perfect.
Oh
Uh,
man, what you got? You got a snowstorm coming?
no, not really snowstorm, but it's getting winter here in Portugal, and I live in the mountains, so it gets pretty
Oh
cold.
shit, you live in Portugal?
Heck yeah, man.
Man, I'm gonna have to come visit. I
Let's
worked
do
with
it.
a guy in a cabinet shop painting like custom
Yeah.
cabinets, and he's from Portugal, and he kept saying like, "Man, you got to go to Portugal. Portugal's so beautiful. I love Portugal. You got to go. Why you
Yeah.
in America?" And I'm like, "Bro, why you in America? You trying to get me to
Right?
go?" But the way he talked about it, and he was just a nice guy, bro, and he's like, man, if you got daughters, you got two daughters, they'll pay you to go over there and give you land and shit. And I'm like, bro, come on, stop it. And he's like, I'm serious, I'm serious. So I
Yeah.
looked into it, and I'm telling you now, if Joe Biden had won this one, like I was, I if my
Thinking
family
about
did.
it.
If my family didn't want to come, I was gonna be like, "Hey, I'll send y'all postcards every month or something." But I'm not sticking
Right.
around this motherfucker. But yeah, I gotta go to Portugal one day, man. I'm gonna
It
make it
is
out there.
beautiful. I'm not gonna lie. It's an adjustment, a really big adjustment because culturally it's so far separated.
Yeah,
And
but
I
that's why I
mean,
would want to go. You know, they
yeah,
seem less. You go to New York or something. Don't even tell somebody hello because they liable to stab you, right?
right. Oh no. Here
Man,
it's a completely different paradigm. Everything is
yeah,
still family related. Most people are highly religious.
yeah.
Most of them are based.
Grow
I'm
their
pretty
own
much the only
food.
one. Yeah, man, I'm the only one here living westerly, let's say. The rest
Okay.
of the village here is completely self sufficient. These people have been living in the middle of the mountains forever and
Yeah.
they grow all their own shit. They work
Man.
24/7. It's like, damn, these guys knows what's up.
Yeah. That sounds like the perfect place to me, man.
It is beautiful. The surrounding is just amazing. But to be honest, most countries have the same similarities. I was recently looking because I've been trying to get to America for a long time, and I was looking into locations into America to go to, and then when you look up the pictures, it's like identical. I could not see the difference between places in America or here in the mountains in Portugal or in Greece for that matter. It's pretty much all the same. So, and it's the
Yeah.
same goes for cities. If you go to New York, it's a shit show. If you go to California, it's a shit show. If you go to Porto here, it's a shit show. If you go to
Yeah.
Lisbon, it's a shit show. But as soon as you get rural and into the mountains, you're perfectly fine.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been a lot of states. I've probably been to like half the states, and I've been out the country a couple times. Nowhere crazy, but yeah, like there's some really beautiful places in America that just you like. Oh, man, I would never realize America would be like this
Right?
if you just watch the news or whatever and never traveled. And that's another thing, man. A lot of Americans don't leave. They never leave their state. Some people never leave their city, right? And it's like, man,
99%.
you gotta get perspective on other things, other places, and yeah, there's some really beautiful places in America that I could see myself being at. I'm I'm in the South. We're really respectful and hospitable, and I'm in the woods in the South, so we're even more on that. Uh, so that's my vibe. I want to be
Yeah.
left
Yeah.
alone.
My
Don't.
latest location was Virginia, and primarily the mountains. And I was looking up pictures and I was like, dude, I cannot see the difference between that and Portugal. It's the same mountains, the same rivers, the same, well, not the same trees, but you get my drift.
Yeah, yeah,
It's pretty much all the same. And then even with the structures. So you have here
Yeah.
old, let's say, Roman structures. The same are there. It's identical. You could not, if you would drop somebody that knows all these places and that just drop them there, they would have no idea in which country or which region they are because it looks all the same.
Yeah. That's pretty awesome, though, man.
It is.
Pretty awesome.
It's a good tell of history, in my opinion.
And it shows like the history ain't real. What they tell us, like they starting to come around to like admitting that the Aztecs were in America. I mean, America wasn't America back then, but they were
Right.
on American land and building pyramids and shit. And they,
Mhm.
they hiding that from you, and it's weird because the soil and rocks that they use ain't even found in America. It's 2,000 miles away, so that's telling you,
Mhm.
5,000 years ago, they were moving tons and tons of rocks and soil thousands of miles to build this
Yeah.
shit for a reason, man. Like,
Yeah, how
oh
can you even claim within history that America was, let's say, founded somewhere in late 1700s, early
yeah,
1800s, and then you find buildings that are identical to all the other Roman buildings in Europe that supposedly are 4,000 years old? So how did a country get founded 200 years ago with 4,000-year-old structures?
yeah,
Yeah, that
yeah,
makes sense.
yeah.
You did not make it up.
And some poor people, man, they don't think for themselves, and it drives me crazy. You just hear
Mhm.
somebody say something, and you're like, "Oh, it must be." And if you just put 5 seconds of your own thought to it, you'd be like, "That's impossible. What are you
Yeah.
even talking about?" Right? Like,
Mhm.
that's
The
what we need
beauty
more.
of it is the fact that we are realizing that things are not the way they are. It makes you go act yourself. So
Yeah,
previously, we always leaned on authority and then followed that authority. Now we're in a situation. Look at the whole new Donald Trump thing with Elon Musk. Everything is getting exposed right now. And now all of a sudden, everybody feels meaning because they know, wait a minute, the world is not what it is. We need to rebuild this world. So now everybody has incentive and thrive and meaning again to do something. So it's a big shift. It's a really big
yeah,
shift that is happening. I love
man.
it.
I'm pumped about those, man. They ain't going far.
Those.
Yeah, they ain't going far enough for me. Elon need to just fire all of them, and then just start over. Just rehire one at a time, and you'll see what you need and what you don't need really quick.
Yeah,
Shut it
yeah,
shut it all down.
yeah. I
Mm.
agree. Yeah, it's exactly what John Klein is saying. It's on the internet, so it must be true.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's it's so true. My grandfather literally told me when I was a young kid. Luckily, I hated TV even when I was small. I just wanted to play outside, but it were different times. And my grandfather always told me, "Do not look at TV. It's a propaganda box."
Yeah.
And both of my grandfathers were in the war, in the Second World War, the Indian War. I don't know why, but the Netherlands always wants to be involved in shit that they shouldn't be involved in. So yeah, just like every other country, they care
Hmm.
about somebody else, but their own population and country can go to.
Yeah.
It's so funny. But yeah, they literally told me everything that comes out of the television is propaganda because they lived through the war and then had to see what the propaganda box was telling the
Yeah.
whole population about the war that they just fought. And it's like, dude, it's literally a 180.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. I was there. Don't tell me. Y'all full of shit.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the problem now is all these people are now no longer here, so nobody can actually correct or verify something.
Yeah.
So now, what you see now all of a sudden they're gonna throw out a shit ton of information again, and then it's quote unquote on Freedom of Information Act and yada yada yada, and everybody's happy that we now get information that is 70 years old. They can tell you what it is. Nobody can verify it because it's so old. Everybody that could disprove it or go against it is now dead. And this is how history is written. It is
Yep.
his story. But heck yeah, man, that's why we're building our own future here, man. I love this whole ecosystem. I love the community. I love how we are all directed our energy in something that is actually necessary. Even if it's a meme, because golly, that Uranus is funny as F.
Yeah,
This is
yeah,
gonna be the dad joke era. I'm loving it.
yeah.
This is gonna be fun, man.
Yeah, I've been joking about Uranus since grade school, man. That's an old school one right there. So yeah, that's definitely fun. What so how is Switch going? If you don't want to
No, no,
say,
no.
that's fine,
Oh,
but
heck yeah. I
okay.
mean, it's still going. It's difficult. So
Yeah.
it's just, especially when you start building everything based on set metrics, and then halfway building it, everybody starts changing the metrics or changing the rules or changing the routing, and then all of a sudden everybody needs to really put in the work to make it work. So yeah, we just got to be patient. The benefit of it is that now you got everything sorted out. So instead of using stuff that is already out there and then put it all in a big basket and make it work like everybody else was doing, now all of a sudden you really need to put in the work yourself. So it is beneficial because now you have everything in house and true understanding of everything.
Yeah.
So I do believe that when these updates are going to roll out, it's not going to be big updates, I believe. I'm not sure. I think it's going to be more smaller changes that need to be made. And then again, see if everything works, see if the changes that are made are actually implemented the way we think it will. And then, yeah, we just evolve slowly over time. Just make
Yeah.
it better step by step. We're not going to jump onto a skyscraper and say, yeah, we did it. No, we're going to slowly walk the stairs up, and then let's do this.
Hell yeah. Just start with the basics and then add in the features as you go,
Right?
as you need them. And yeah, once you get the basics functioning like you need to, then I'm not gonna say it's easy from there,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it
Yeah,
definitely gets easier,
yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
Uh,
My biggest problem always was I'm really, how you say that, dogmatic or scientific about things. And then I get too excited and I change more than one thing. And if you learn something within development or science, or you only change one thing and then
yeah,
observe the ramifications of it, or the cause and effect story.
yeah,
And the problem most people do is, okay, this is not working. Let's change 10 things and then see if it works. Yeah, it's gonna be a rabbit hole.
yeah. Because one of the 10 things don't work. You don't necessarily know which one of the 10
Exactly.
things caused the issue. Yeah, you got to
Yeah.
pinpoint it. What So let's see. Overall, Switch. Are y'all going to like? It's going to be a bridge between Pulse and Base and TitanX X28, and we're going to be able to swap in-house everything, right? Is it
It is
the
the
longer
intention.
term?
Yes. That the ultimate goal is to give people the opportunity to have a trustless, safe way of going cross-chain without using a bridge. But
Ah,
for things like that to be possible, you got to have good routing and liquidity pools that already exist.
yeah,
So
yeah,
you can mitigate a bridge by creating your pool between the coins that you actually want to bridge to. So that would mitigate the whole bridging. And this is the same thing as somewhat as what X28 is doing. It's not really multi-chain, it's omni-chain.
right. Man, so that's awesome. That's even better than I was saying it was going to be, because the way that's going to run, you're eliminating a bridge, which that's
Mhm.
a man bridging. If you don't know what bridging is taking Ethereum token from the Ethereum chain and sending it, let's say, to base chain or pulse chain. And if you're new to crypto and you just got a wallet, you're not ready to bridge because it's just
No.
too much information. And then when you want to go getting these tokens, you got to learn how to bridge, and it's just discouraging. And
Yeah.
what Switch is going to do, so X28 is going omni chain, and it's going to be on Base, it's going to be on Pulse, and all of these other places. And the community and probably Titan Farms is going to make liquidity pools where users can add liquidity and earn fees. But at the same time, Switch can tap into that and eliminate the bridge, which just makes
Yeah.
it so easy to swap. I'm gonna be able to take my X28 on Ethereum and just swap it for X28 on Base with no bridge. And
Yep.
that's gonna be time effective, that's gonna be cost effective, and it really cuts the learning curve out.
Yeah.
And we needed this for crypto for 10 years, right? Like why did
Yeah.
we why have a
Well, the
bridge
most
if you can do it
exploited,
this way?
yeah, the most exploited thing is a bridge.
Yeah.
The biggest risk in crypto primarily is on bridges. It's the most exploited. No, I don't want to say scam, but yeah, it's been rock pulled more times than I can count.
Yeah.
So yeah,
And I know from experience, especially early, like I was more in Ethereum and Pulse came out and I was like, let's look into this. And then
yeah,
like, it was 2 days and I'm trying to figure out how to bridge. And I'm like, dude, it's not even worth it for me. So I passed on it and, it did its thing. But if it had been easier, I'd have been all over Pulse. And now I'm a veteran now, so all this is easy to me. But I know it's not easy for everybody because it's a lot of people just starting. And one thing about the bridge on Pulse is you got to send it, and then it takes an hour. Just if you're lucky, if it's working right, you got to wait an hour, and it'll show up. Sometimes it's a day, and then you got to claim it. It's not just a swap where it automatically shows in your wallet. You got to go claim it. Like so, that's a whole nother transaction. Yeah, it's a pain in the ass. So I'm
yep,
definitely looking forward to switching. I think a lot of people, because you ain't really been sharing it out too much yet because it's still working on it. But the people that know and know what it's going to do are really excited for it. I know that.
yeah. We got so much things coming in the upcoming months. It's if we think a lot of things are already being built on TitanX now, just wait. The
Yeah.
bull run hasn't even, the excitement hasn't even started yet. The people haven't even come running in yet. Uh, if I look at the previous cycles, most of the coins are created in, let's say, the last 6 to 8 weeks. You see a burst of maybe it's going to be different this time because I do need to take into consideration that when I started, there were only 3,000 coins, and now we have 30 million. So it's
Yeah,
a big difference, really big difference. So
definitely.
yeah,
But at the
yeah,
same
it's gonna
time,
be
like I keep saying, there's absolutely no reason for Ethereum to be falling. And it's strange to me because you got so many big people now, and not people, countries. You got countries buying
yeah,
Bitcoin. Like there's who's selling it, and so it's all manipulation. And sooner or later the cycle can't continue because the old cycle, you talking, oh, we only had 50,000 users, then you had 100,000 users, Well, we're getting now. We're millions of users. You can't tell me that the price goes down when demand increases by 10, right? That's not
Right.
how it works. So, uh, I think it's just we're gonna trade sideways while they get their ducks in a row, and we're just gonna coil that spring. And when they take their foot off that spring, man, it's gonna pop.
Right.
And who knows when that's gonna be? It could be right now. It could be 6 months. We just
Mm.
at
I think
2,600.
we are way
I'm
closer
buying.
than people think. Yeah.
Yeah,
If I remember correctly, even though this cycle clearly is different than all that came before them, even though people would like to say, yeah, we're still at the same point as where we always were timeline wise. Well, if you really look into the data, it's not even close. So this is the first time in crypto history that Bitcoin deviated from altcoins. So don't tell me it's the same as it always been, because it's objectively not.
right, right.
It's just that simple. I mean, you can't have BTC be at all-time highs while 99% of all the altcoins are still at the bear market lows.
Yeah,
Even the bigger ones, the ADAs, the VJ, it doesn't matter. So don't tell me it's the same as it always is, because it's not.
yeah,
But on the other hand, if that's the case and we do get something of rotation going, you got to understand that the amount of economic energy that is now within Bitcoin that can be rotated, yeah, we have more coins. But in 2017, there was only 300 billion of economic value that Bitcoin could rotate into altcoins. Now
right.
we're talking trillions.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
there's a big difference. The rotate,
Two
will that
trillion, two
rotation,
trillion just
yeah,
in
exactly.
Bitcoin.
Exactly. So will that rotation take place now? I'm not sure. I mean, it looks like they are really taking Bitcoin as the only one crypto right now. So you can see that the people that are now investing clearly are not retail. It's clearly traditional finance, and they go for the secure horse. That's how they do their business. They don't care about 100x. No, they
Yeah,
want to guarantee double. That's it.
yeah,
They're,
yeah,
they're,
yeah.
they're already set. They don't have to really work for the money anymore. So yeah, it's a different ball game for sure. But I do believe that next week could be completely different as this week. And I know we say that a lot and often, and I get it. When people get bullish and we see the signs of what is going on, people expect it tomorrow. And then when it didn't happen a month later, they think you're crazy and everything. No, just be patient. These are the early signs that you see of something big. To give you an
Yeah,
example, when you see people putting in their time, energy, and passion to create something with their own hands for a project or something, this is early signs of something big.
yeah,
If people want to
definitely.
give their time and emotion to something, it's something that is solidifying itself as a base. I've seen it in multiple communities before, and
Yeah,
I think it's going to be the same. And I'm not the only one doing this. I'm seeing a lot of
yeah,
things on Twitter slowly coming with people are making their own creations the same way I saw in other communities. And it's a precursor. And at some point, money is going to flow into the system, and that money has to make a choice. And when it sees that some people are fully committed and we have a community that are fully all in, this is something that they want to align to, because they have to have some form of securities. The whole website thing, that it is so 2017. uh,
yeah.
to be honest, I'm in crypto since 2016, and I've maybe looked at 3 sites or 5 websites up until now, and they're all from the TitanX ecosystem. I never go to a website. I could care less about a website, to be
Yeah,
honest. I go to the social medias. How active are they? How many holders does it have? How's the distribution of the coins? That's all I matter. That's all I care about. How's the volume? How's the liquidity? That's all that's important. I could care less about a website, but yeah, a lot of people do.
Were you did you ever hear of Steam? It was like
Oh heck yeah, I was in Steam back then.
okay, me too. Yeah, yeah. So
Randy Alasky, man.
when you were talking like we're building actual stuff like the
Yeah,
Dragon X sign behind you, right? Like Steam was huge for that.
dude.
Like I think I don't remember, but it was like a quarter. It was like 25 cents, right? And there was
Yeah,
thousands and thousands of people on there. And then, you had major influencers for the Steam community, and
yep,
they would rap, they would sing, they would do poetry, they would do
yep.
comedy, and they would do signs like that and make art and paint and all kinds of stuff. And that Steam went up to $7.
Yep.
Steam went to like $7 or $8,
Yeah,
and
and
I
all you
think
had to
that's
do
what.
was create content, and then when people watch your content, you were rewarded with Steam.
Yeah, and I think
It was a brilliant concept, to be
it
honest.
was
I just think it was too soon. It was ahead of
that,
the curve, I think.
and
If it would have been done later, maybe
they
it would be more successful.
what killed it, I do believe, is the people they set up bots to that you could buy that would like and share for you, and you would like it almost turned into an auction for Steam because you could just buy a bot to pump uh
Yeah, right.
your posts and earn more Steam, and it I think that took away from it, and because it's decentralized, you can't necessarily stop that. So
Right.
I think that's their thing. That was their mess up. But yes, they were 10
Well, bots
years
we have everywhere.
ahead of their time.
Yeah.
Whoever does it next, if they can somehow control the distribution and keep it from a bidding system where whales are just going to take control, I think
Mhm.
whoever can do that is going to be on to something. But
Yeah.
yeah, I see Titan X as the next Steam. Like we're not social media like that, like, but the community aspect of it is that strong. And
Yes.
I think that's what made Steam as big as it was the community, not necessarily the tech. Because you could do that on Facebook and you could tip each other on Facebook. There's no reason you can't. It was more the community and the community leaders, and man,
Yeah,
it
man.
was pretty cool, man. But yeah, I was just saying it went from like a quarter to $7, and like, damn, that's a
Yep.
lot. That's a lot.
That is a lot. Yeah, that's pretty much, what is it? 28x. Yeah,
Yeah,
about 28x.
crazy.
Maybe even more.
Yeah, probably more. I hate
Four
doing
times
math like
seven.
that.
Yeah, 28.
28. But no,
That's
it's
coincidence.
oh yeah,
28.
yeah, 4 times. Yeah, yeah, there you go. 28. 28 on 29.
Right? Yeah, no,
Hell
I'm,
yeah.
I'm I'm extremely. I mean, now it's just getting more users. So if you're familiar with Metcalf law, then double the users and 4x
Yeah.
the price. Or
Yeah.
it's just how it works, and we're doing a great job at it. And
And the
it can be
beauty of that,
depressing because there's not a lot of engagement that usually happens just before things start really taking off. So now is exactly the time to just get your shoulders on underneath it. Big shout out to the Mo, by the way, for just keeping this community together and aligned and get the collective going. I'm absolutely loving it.
yes. Yeah, Mo is a legend for sure.
Mhm.
One of the first OGs too, man. And
Right.
still killing it, and you can see him grow. Right, you can watch him grow.
Mhm.
Went from his car to what he's got now. Like that's growth, and that's amazing. You love to see it, right? Especially for good
Exactly.
people, man. I want to see everybody at the peak, right? I don't want to be there
Right.
alone. It ain't no fun
Exactly.
if you're alone,
Bringing people
man.
together is so much more fun. Exactly. And we're, this whole ethos about building your own future and just putting your time in something that you would love to see changed, instead of being in this culture where everybody just keeps on complaining about everything they do not like. Well, if it's so bad, why don't you make it better yourself?
Yep.
It's the same thing with me. I was getting annoyed by and this was already years ago, about the, how do you say that? Not really personalized merch. There was no personality in it. So every merch, even though they could be amazing, the art, the graphics, it's just another company that gives you the same hoodie, the same texture, the same thing. Everybody's seen it already.
Yeah.
And I was like, I want to have some merch. And then within, let's say, the Hex community, Jim Rat's friend came with the shields. I was like, here we go. This is what you need. You need to have personal people that see something that they like and they want to, how do you say that, personalize it with things that they love.
Yeah.
And this is what you want to see. So I was at a point, you know what, why not just really go into this merch thing? And I did it back then in the Pulse Chain Hex community, but I started in the bear market, or just when we rolled over and started, and then everybody was, yeah, let me wait for a run up that never came. So I was sitting back here with a shit ton of merch that I created for a community that doesn't want it anymore.
Yeah,
they're all feeling broke. So yeah, but I also was making really expensive shit, so I could imagine. So I got a lot of DMs back then, and then when you have to tell them, yeah, it's $9,000, then yeah, it's a lot of money. So I figured out, okay, I need to please the more. So now I'm trying to make quality merch that I pretty much make no profit on. It's if I would have to keep the hours going, then I would be broke by tomorrow. So that's not
right.
I just want to provide quality shit that you could put on your desk or wherever and actually be proud of and can look at, and it would last.
And it's
That's
probably
why I have these things running 24/7. They're on 24/7. I don't get them. I need to, I need to know, are they going to break down? What's going to happen? How do they hold up? So yeah, a lot of people are asking me, when are you going to do the merch? Dude, I just made this 2 weeks ago. I need to know if it's proper or not. So, just give me a little bit more time. You get cheap shit, good shit for not a lot of money. And it's personalized, so you can do whatever you want. Same for you, by the way. You still got to give me your, because I'm doing it. Every founder that contacts me, I will do it for free. Just tell me what you want, and I will do my best to create it. At the end of the day, it helps myself. So I could do a giveaway and give away tokens, or I can make merch for the content creators that have it on the background. This solidifies it. This gives people belief. It gives a lot of things with it. So yeah, I'm all for it.
That's actually a really good idea.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you enjoy doing it too.
Dude, there's nothing more joyful than creating something with your own hands. This is literally the reason why I did a 180 during my education. When I started doing my education and figured out, so the higher you do your education, the less you actually do. That doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah.
So yeah, I thought, you know what? When I figured out that these high educated people don't even know what a spanner is, then how can you call yourself an engineer if you can't even hold a screwdriver? But yet again, modern education will tell you, if you could write difficult things on a paper that nobody understands, now all of a sudden you're smart and you could do shit. It makes no sense.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It is crazy. I like the blue collar jobs, the shit that actually makes a country run.
Yeah,
what value actually comes from.
I'm in a weird life situation, right? But it's kind of all right. So I owned a business. I worked my ass off 18 hours a day for 10 years, right? And then my wife got, like, she got a good job that gets our benefits, right? So her job's really more important than me working. So she got transferred to Florida. So we moved to Florida on the East Coast, and we were there for about 10 years. And I had to go to work, and it was like probably 6 months. And I'm like, man, I'm spending more money by going to work than if I stayed home with the kids. So
Hmm.
we did the math and it checked out. And so I stayed home as a stay-at-home father
Right.
and saved we probably saved $1,000 a month by me not working. And
Right.
and it just turned into something. And so I really never had, or I don't say never, but past 12 years I haven't had to work. So I'd get bored and I went to a few restaurants and I'm like, hey, I just want to work. uh y'all need a dishwasher. And
Exactly.
because I didn't want no responsibility, I didn't want to wait tables, and it wasn't necessary. I ain't trying to make $1 million. I just want something to do. So
Right.
I go wash dishes and hang out in the back. And if you ever worked in the kitchen, that's where all the cool people is at. And if you're a dishwasher, you have zero responsibility, right? So I go take out the trash and I go smoke, you know, during my shift. I'm just drinking a beer and just smoking by the dumpster, man. And then I go handle my shit,
Let's
right?
go.
But yeah,
Yeah.
so it's like I like that. I like that. I would much rather do that than you pay me double to go sit in the office. I'll go rake leaves before I can sit in the office, right? Give me eight
Same.
dollars an hour. I'll go rake leaves. I don't care.
I hate this job that I'm doing right now. I
Yeah.
really do. I know I need to do this. I know I need to be glued to the screen for the next 6 to 8 months, but I absolutely hate it.
Yeah.
And the worst part is that everybody around you thinks you're doing nothing. Oh, look at that guy sit at a street script. Why don't you get a job, dude? I make more money than your whole family made in their whole lifetime. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah,
I mean,
I hear it all the time. He don't
it's
do
so
nothing.
funny,
He
man.
playing on his phone and on the
Yeah.
computer, and I'm like, man, y'all have no idea the
Right.
amount of work I put in. Y'all have no idea.
Right.
It's
But it's
funny
so
though.
pleasurable. I mean, the more I work, the more how do
Fulfilled.
you say fulfilled. Exactly. The more
Yeah.
fulfilled. That feeling of accomplishment is something that every man needs. You need to have a purpose. You need to have a goal. You need to have things that you want to achieve. And then as soon as you achieve them, it will add to you.
Yeah.
It's,
Build that
it,
confidence.
yeah, exactly. They always say life starts at 40, and nobody really realizes why that actually exists. Why does that exist? Life starts at 40. It's because it takes 40 years for you to figure out how life works. And
Yeah.
then after 40, you can actually start building with all the knowledge that you acquired. That's why
Yeah.
life starts at 40. Life is so hard and so intricate and so complex that you need almost 40 years to figure it all out. And then life starts. Like now, I'm 48 and I'm enjoying life. I'm creating my own path. I'm creating my own future. We're building a community. We're building good friends that we can trust upon, rely upon, uh, probably more than most family members. I got more people
Yeah.
that I can build on here than most of my family members.
Yeah. 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 Certainly. And some people even more, right? Like some people don't even have family.
I have nothing, like literally nothing.
Yeah.
We're pretty much alone here with my own family, and my family lives online pretty much. Uh, we all know the world got to shit in the handbasket through the whole woke culture, education, and feminism, and yada yada yada, and all of the above. And now we have to deal with the consequences. And there's a purge coming, and I
Oh
think
yeah.
Trump is instigating it, and a lot of things gonna change in the future. So yeah, I'm for since a long time, I'm actually excited for the future, even
Me
though
too, man.
right? I mean,
Yeah,
it's probably the best option we have. I hate to say it's a better evil because I do not believe in that nonsense. There's no
yeah,
such
yeah, yeah.
thing as choosing between two evils, but
Right.
uh, you got to admit this is probably the best scenario we had in a long, 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 long time. Where
Yeah,
actually people are gonna rule the world that know what's up. They have a proven track record. They know how economy works. They know how business works. They know how money flow works, liquidity. So yeah, getting these all these people into office and get actually regulation put in, or probably more likely get rid of a lot of nonsense regulation. That's
yes,
probably the primary thing. And
yes.
let's fucking thrive again. Let,
Like,
let,
how is it in Portugal as far as like building? If you wanted to build a house on your property right now, could you
Mhm.
just build a house?
I mean, yes and no.
Okay,
So, yes, you can build a house depending on how the land was, how do you say that? Classified. So,
okay, yeah,
rural,
yeah, yeah.
farming, urban, or whatever.
Gotcha.
So, depending on the classification of the land, it dictates how hard it's going to be.
Okay,
If you have the easiest way, then still you have to deal with a lot of bureaucracy in Portugal.
okay.
I don't actually see it as a bad thing. From my experience right now, when I was in the Netherlands, we had the convenience of just taking one phone call and the rest will figure itself out because all these entities were in connection with one another. They all knew what they had to do and it would be sorted out if they would put in the effort. So within, let's say, the Netherlands, it could take months for things to actually achieve because it had to go through all the levels. And even though it's all pretty much automatic, it wasn't as smooth as you think. And
Right.
then as soon as we went to Portugal, it was like, yeah, you got to do individually everything yourself. So you got to go to the first entity, get your documentation, get everything set up, and then go to the next one. And,
Yeah.
and then the next one. But the people here are actually willing to help you.
Okay.
So when you get to that entity, so if I would go to, let's say, the council in the Netherlands, I'm just another number. You literally pick a number, you get sit into a chair, and if you're lucky, within 3 hours, it's your turn, and then they look into it. They're
Okay.
not really helping you. No, they look into it. Here, it's completely different. They completely devoted to you, and they will do everything in their power to help you that day.
No shit.
And yes, it's a lot of hustle. You got to do it all yourself, but people actually are here to help you instead of
Okay.
you just being another number.
Yeah, yeah. So America, it's crazy, man. If you want to build, we got our classifications on land, like you're saying, rural,
Yeah,
farm, industrial. But like I live in the woods, in the middle of nowhere, right?
yeah.
I gotta have I gotta have Elon's satellite internet to get
I
internet.
got
They
it
don't
right
even,
now.
yeah,
Yeah,
they don't even provide internet here. That's how out in nowhere I am.
same.
And I got 5 acres, and if I want to build something bigger than a 100 square foot shed, then
Mm-hmm.
I gotta go file permits. I gotta pay all kind of fees. I'm talking thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars, and it's not a easy process if you've never done it, and they don't necessarily help you.
No,
They do not make it easy, and then they tax you on your, because if you build something new, you're adding value, so they're just going to tax you more.
right?
Uh, it's
I
a
found something
it
out recently.
sucks, man. But
Yeah,
not long ago, in where like if I was in this same spot 30 years ago, maybe 40, I could just build whatever I want. Nobody could tell me
yes.
anything, and that's how it should be.
It's
But
it's
at the same time, there is standards that you should have to follow, right?
Well,
just for safety. Like you can't,
sure.
but there should be an easier process, man.
They
Like,
always put it under the norm of safety, but at the end of the day, it's just to fill their pockets.
yeah,
So,
certainly.
with everything in life, they say you could do whatever you want, what you do, even if it's a hazard to your own life, except if you want to play in our playground. Then, if you want to do something riskful, you got to pay for it. That makes no sense. So,
Yeah,
at one end, you say you do it for my health, but in reality, you're just doing it for the money. Let's face it.
yeah,
And
1000%.
exactly. And when I looked into all this permit thing, it's not even legal. And the only thing a permit does is you giving them the permission to enter your land whenever they want. This is what a permit does. So as long as you do not do a permit, you are still holding your human rights. As soon as you sign off that permit, you sign off in that permit that they could check on you whenever they want. So what you're actually doing is giving up your freedom. So now no longer that land is no longer private anymore because they have a permit that you signed that they could enter your land whenever they want.
Damn, that's tricky, bro. They
Yep, it's
shady.
techie. It's
You
techie.
just gave the devil a free enter pass, right?
Yeah,
Usually you
it's the
got to
same with
invite him when he knocks. Like you got to invite him
exactly.
in.
You
But
invite them in. That's what you
but
did
na-
by
yeah, you
signing that
just
permit.
man.
It's
Yeah,
techie, man. It's the same with taxation. They want to do tax on all your crypto. While by the letter of the law, it states that tax can only be risen on a currency. So if the letter of the law says the only place where taxation has a place, and that's a currency, then you could never apply taxes to crypto because it's not a currency yet. It's a commodity. You cannot tax commodities, but
yeah,
everybody that goes along, you give your freedom up by yourself. They just hold that letter in front of you, and it's up to you to take it or leave it. We still have a choice.
yeah. Most people don't even know though. Most people have no idea.
Oh,
They got our lives so busy. You
mhm.
know, you got to work 18 hours just to put food on the table. So who even has time to look into this kind of stuff? You know,
Yeah, all by design. I
right?
could run you through that rabbit hole when the feminist movement started in the 30s.
Oh yeah.
And everybody thought, yeah, it's to give women more rights, to empower them, to provide more money to the economic energy because we have more taxation. So now we have more money to thrive, even though your roads are getting more and more potholes than ever before. No street lights are working anymore, but we are doing this so we could build our country better. No, 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 no. The only reason why this whole movement started and why we needed women into the workforce is for them to get the ability to raise your kids in their image and not yours. So the whole spiel for this whole feminism, this whole taxation bullshit, there's only one reason for it, and that's the kids. The kids are the most important thing in life. And once you realize that the human brain is dissected in two parts, one that is until the age of 8 and everything that comes afterwards. And until the age of 8, your existence is created. This is where your conception of reality comes from. Left, right, front, green, red, warm, cold, mommy, daddy. All these things are solidified in the first 8 years. Everything that you learn there can never be taken away because it's also part of your fight and flight response. So it's part of the same brain partition. So as soon as somebody comes along and questions your status quo, everything that you learned until the age of 8, you only have two responses. You either do not listen, you flight, go la 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 la, or you're literally going to fight somebody because he has an other belief than you. That's your fight phase. And this is where the whole world is in right now. They created a belief system by getting the kids out of the hands of mommy and daddy and get them into the indoctrination camps as young as they can. And now, 40 years forward, we're living in a world of zombies that have no clue how reality works. They're completely indoctrinated by the schooling system, thinking you can be identified as a typewriter. It's mind-boggling.
And then you put in, so you first goal is to separate family from kids, which
Yep.
they still doing. They're still doing that through a different route this way because they already did it. They're already successful with the feminism route. And then
Yep.
so you separate the kids from the family. Then you take Bible out of school
Yep.
or religion, out of school.
Exactly.
Then you at the same time, you now it takes two incomes to support a family instead of one. So
Yep.
now both the mother and father have to work, and then you introduce the crack epidemic in the 80s.
Yep.
That isn't, see, the drugs aren't always the problem with the kids. It's
Mhm.
like you're saying, your first 8 years, if mama and daddy ain't around for the first 8 years, then you're not learning nothing. Like, what are
Nope.
you learning in your first 8 years if your mom and dad is crackheads?
Yeah.
You learning crackhead things. And then
Hmm.
that's when you turn 18 and you doing crackhead fucking shit. And then you put in the new slavery model of for-profit prison.
Right.
Uh and and it's not really hard to see like how we got where we are. But that's
No,
all from the powers that
we got all got
try to control, because crack was introduced, bro. Like
by
nobody
then, of
know.
course.
Yeah, and opium and now
Yep.
fentanyl. Like they're doing that. The community ain't doing that, right? Like we didn't invent crack. Y'all motherfuckers invented fentanyl. Uh, and that,
Yeah.
yeah. So when you put all this into play after over the course of 2 or 3 generations, man,
Yep. I
you
mean, we all fell for it. I mean, I had to face reality every single day. There's a reason why I called myself Facing Reality. I was one of the first that just held a mirror in front of me. So I was caught up in this whole system. You get into school, they tell you just work hard, and the harder you work, the more you will achieve. Well, I'm a worker, and I didn't achieve a lot, and I worked my ass off. And then they tell you you just got to save money. Just save your money, work hard, and then you'll get there at the end of the road. They don't tell you that all that money that you saved in the banking account by the time you want to use it is worthless.
yeah,
So you teach a whole population to start saving for something. So let's, for example, you say you want to buy a new car. That car is $50,000. You start saving. By the time you get the $50,000, let's say 5 or 6 years later, that car is no longer $50,000. That car is now 100 grand. So now you're sitting there with your money that you think you saved, you worked your ass off, and now you think, now I'm gonna buy that thing that I always wanted. Oh fuck, it just doubled in price. What happened? I don't get it. It's all a scam. It literally is all a scam. Education, money, oh, it's insane.
yeah. You could get a bachelor's degree on YouTube in anything you want to learn. Like if you want to be a mechanic, you could teach yourself how to be a mechanic
Yep.
and open your own shop at your house. Uh,
Correct.
it might take you time, but I would suggest doing that before I would go work for somebody else. You know, the sooner you can start on yourself, the better, right?
Yes. I don't even want to open a business anymore. I had 3 businesses in my life. The 3 did really well, and they all got fucked by the system, pretty much. So, and the latest one was literally just ruled by regulations. I was doing exotic things. I was using chemicals and all those things. And every 5 or 6 years, when you finally build up a capital to start investing into your future, they come up with new regulations, and now all of a sudden you need to spend $100,000 just to keep the doors open, because they said, no, you can't do it that way anymore. You got to do it this way now. Yeah, it's such a.
I thought about raising fish. I was gonna just raise fish, and that would be illegal for me. That would be illegal. I would have to. It would cost me so much to raise fish. It'd be like $100,000 investment, and then I'd have to work with these federal agencies that I don't want nowhere near. I don't even want to talk to y'all, bro. This
is why I got into.
Hey, Erwin, man, I gotta go. I gotta run real quick.
Oh, good, man.
I'm so sorry, but I love this conversation. We'll do it again.
Just hit me the link every time you go live. I love sitting here with you, man. Let's go.
Hell yeah. Hey, that conspiracy video did awesome. Everybody loving that shit.
I mean, people are waking up, and it's important that people need to be presented with objective facts instead of just opinions.
Yeah, so and I like we're all on the same page, but we all also a little bit different, but learning from each other. We're just gonna keep on doing even better.
Exactly. Let's build.
All right, bro. I really gotta go. Hey, love you, bro. Thanks for coming on. I'll talk to everybody later.
Heck yeah. Peace.
You see, I'm a guy with simple taste. I enjoy dynamite, gunpowder, and gasoline. One hell of a something. We got the fire. One hell of a something. We got the fire.
It's such a simple concept, but yet nobody has done it.
Light it up.
It's such a simple concept, but yet nobody has done it.
Everything burns. You see, I'm a guy with simple taste. I enjoy dynamite, gunpowder, and gasoline. Everything burns. One hell of a something. We got the fire. One hell of a something. We got the fire.
It's such a simple concept, but yet nobody has done it.
Light it up.
It's such a simple concept, but yet nobody has done it.
Everything